Okay, we're going to make a pom-pom rabbit. Now you could use these plastic pom-pom makers. You can get them on the internet or from a wool shop, and they're very easy to use. Or you could make your own pom-pom maker from 2 rings of cardboard. You just need to find something round to draw around that's the right size. So the biggest one, you're going to need 3 altogether. The biggest one is approximately 9.5 centimetres wide, and then you need a smaller one, that will be the head, and that is about 6 centimetres wide. And then we've got a little one to make the tail, which is about 3.5 centimetres wide. You could make your pom-pom, your rabbit, bigger and just increase the size of your pom-pom. Okay, so I'm going to use these. They're really easy to use and they're easier than the cardboard ones, and you can make lots in the same size with one of these, but you will need to make new ones every time you make a pom-pom with the cardboard ones. But these are great, these work fine. So to use this particular type of pom-pom maker, there are different designs out there. You put the dimples into the holes, marry them up together, and then you just start on one side. Now I'm using double knit wool, and I've doubled it, so I've got 2 strands together to speed things up. So I'm just going to quickly wind it all the way until one side is full. That's about there now, and then we'll go over to the other side. Just simply cross over and off you go again. I'm using acrylic wool for this, so you can use any wool, any colour, depends on what colour you want your rabbit to be. Okay, when you've got your pom-pom maker full, just cut off and close it up, click it together. Now I need to get ready some wool to tie it up with, so I'm just going to make sure it's really strong. So you might want to even do 4 strands for this bit. Just get that ready. Put it down here ready too. And holding it in the middle, you need to cut through the 2 rings like that. You need a good sharp pair of scissors for this. And keep hold of it in the middle carefully as you turn it round and do the other side. We can tidy up any long bits in a minute. It's already looking lovely. I'm just going to take my 4 strands of wool and put them between the 2 rings. and then you tie a knot. Pull it really tightly. And then do a double knot. Really tightly. And maybe even another one. You could just tie it again if you wanted to make sure that it was all really secure, but I think that is pretty secure. So we're going to leave these long bits on, we might need them. Cut off any little bits that are wound around the back here. That's it, now I just have to unclip it. And then open our pom-pom maker. 1, 2, there we go. And just hold it by the thread here, and we're just going to give it a little tidy up. I'm just going to cut off any long straggly bits. You could keep your pom-pom this sort of oval shape, or you could, by trimming it, make it completely round. But rabbit bodies are sort of this oval shape more than round, so I'm going to leave mine like that. It would also make a good hedgehog, wouldn't it? Already looks a bit like a rolled up hedgehog. Okay, so I'm going to make another one. Exactly the same method with a smaller pom-pom maker. Put the dimples in the holes, hold it together, using my grey wool again, double. And make our smaller pom-pom. I'll probably make this one a bit more round for the rabbit's head, like that. Straggly bits. Okay. So we now have our body and head. Next thing is to make the tail. So we've got our really tiny one, and I'm going to use some, it's pale grey but it looks white, but it's actually, I'll probably just use one strand as it's such a small pom-pom. You could use chunky wool for this as well, it would be really quick, but I would just use it single thickness if you're going to use a chunky wool. There. Next thing we're going to do is take off all the ends that we tied it up with and just leave 2. Same with the tail and the head, we don't need any, so I'm just taking them all off that one. So we've just got a round ball for the head. And just take a bodkin with a big eye. We can thread on our wool that we used to tie it off with. And then we just take the head and thread the bodkin through the middle. And then back through to the other side of your pom-pom. You need to really push it through. And I would do that once. Back again once. It's quite difficult to feel the bodkin. square shape now. And just cut that off. And then we can attach the tail. So again, thread the bodkin with the thread left from your tail. And the tail needs to be at the base of your bunny, so just take that through the middle. Like that. And then back through again. That should be enough to hold it in position. You could do another one if you wanted to, just to be sure. Okay. Now we just need now to make some ears. To make the rabbit ears, you need a little bit of cardboard and the middle-sized pom-pom maker. So I'm just going to use half of it on the edge of my cardboard. This will be your pattern for your ears. So I'm just going to take a felt pen, that round the edge. Cut that out. And then I'm going to take off the top like that and the bottom. And then we have our ear shape. And we're going to need to cut two of these out from felt. So I'm just going to place my cardboard on the felt and I'm just going to cut that out. And you want to do the same. You could draw around it first, but it's pretty easy to just cut that out straight away. I'm using a sort of natural coloured felt, but you could use any colour that you like for your rabbit ears. There we are. We've got two of these. Now with a different colour felt, I'm using the purpley one. I want to make the centre section. So similar sort of shape to what we've just done. I'm just going to take some small bits like that and just cut that into a similar shape to the ears, but it's going to go on the inside of the ears. I've got two bits like that, and I'm going to stick them in the middle of the ear. You could stitch it if you want, but I'm just going to use a little bit of glue from the glue gun. Not too much. Just pop that in the middle like that. Same the other side. Much. There's the other one. So now I'm going to place the ears. You could just get your cardboard pieces and just check where you want to place your ears, because once they're stuck it's more difficult to get them out. So if you look at how you want your rabbit to be, I think the ears look good at the back, right near the body. So I'm just going to take those out now and get my felt pieces. I'm going to glue them into there. You could just pleat them They look a bit more like ears when they're pleated. So a little dollop of glue in the middle to pleat it, hold it shut, and then a little bit at the back. Just going to place that in there, like that. And the same the other side. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in the bottom to pleat it. Oops. Just stick that together like that. And then a little bit of glue at the back. Just going to pop that in next to the other one. There we are. Now we have our rabbit ears. They do look a bit pointy, I think a little bit bat-like, so I think I'm going to just take the tips off. A little bit better, I think. So the next thing to do is to put on our nose and whiskers. So I've got some little bit of fishing line here. You could use some cotton, thick cotton like this, or even normal cotton, but the reason I'm using fishing line is it does look more like real whiskers, and they stand out a little bit as well. So I've just threaded 4 strands of fishing line and through a button. You could use a little black button. I've got a little red button here. It's a sort of pinky red. So I'm just going to put a dollop of glue on the end of my button to stop it coming out. There and there. And then I'm just going to put a dollop of glue onto the back of it. That for the nose. Okay, you can see that okay. Try not to get too much glue on the button or the bead. I'm just going to cut the whiskers through and maybe trim them a little bit. They're a little bit long. There we go. Might be able to get rid of that glue later on, picking it off. Okay, and the eyes, you could use little beads, or you could use some wool and just make some little dots. So you sort of go back to your pom-pom, decide where you want your eyes to go, and then go through the pom-pom and out the other side with some wool, and leave the wool hanging out. And we'll go back in exactly the same place as we came out. Make a loop, catch our whiskers. Maybe one more. And try and come out exactly the same place as you went in. Okay, just cut that off. So I've got something that looks like that, and then we're going to cut those to be level with the pom-pom. don't show up that well. You could perhaps use something that's a bit more of a contrast, and they probably need to be a little bit higher up, but you get the gist of that. And there's his little tail, and that's our rabbit finished. He's really sweet, isn't he? Okay.